What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from Nation TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web, but we actually adopt some nations to spot out differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is the first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social medias, Twitter and Instagram at Nation TV, Wes the Good Guy, and ACCV Plus. Listen, I am freaking excited because I just got finished watching the challenge. I know it came on Wednesday. Today is Friday morning, but there was a lot going on. I had things I had to do. Work, and more work. Work. I never know what she says after work. I don't know what she says. But I'm excited. We're here to talk about the challenge season 40, episode 8, the era of the gladiator, because the challenge is referencing Gladiator. Gladiator 2 was coming out with Denzel Washington and all these other people. I never really cared about Gladiator, the movie. Don't even know if I care about part 2. I really don't, but whatever. You know how it is when you're dealing with sponsorships and stuff like that. You just have to say, hey, let's go watch the movie. Promote, market. Yeah. Michelle and Kylan get to walk back. Y'all know I'm excited that Kylan is safe. Yeah. I'm team Kylan, and I'm team Cory, and I'm team Cara, and I'm team Theo. And I'm team Nehemiah. Those are my favorites. Cara, Kylan, Cory, Theo, Nehemiah. Those are my top 5. Yeah. And just Rachel because she's a good person, but I don't really care for her. She's a long time ago, old veteran player, but I like her gameplay because she's a cool person. But those are my top 5. Any one of those people make it. And I like Jordan. So my top 6, I like Jordan. Okay. Any one of those people make it to the final, I'm okay. Right? I will love those 6 to make it to the final. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And so it's good seeing Kylan and Michelle walk back. Then we have this conversation with Derrick and Rachel going back and forth because they're the lone wolves. I am so shocked that we've gotten to this point where Era 1 only has 2 people and they're still in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of weird and twisted. The math is not mathing like KC said at the end, right? Then we get a conversation of Jenny talking to Michelle, how she's so butthurt that her name is always being called in and as a target, and she doesn't like that. And then Casey comes on the scene with the gangsta lean in the post-confessional, and she's like, look, Jenny, if you don't make friends, and if you don't do relationships, and if you don't talk to anyone, you're always going to be picked. And so at the end of the day, I feel like that is accurate. If I'm on a team with someone that doesn't speak to me, that doesn't care to figure out what I got going on, or in terms of like friendship or whatever, there's just not a connection there. Why would I not say your name versus someone that I have a genuine connection with or someone that I speak game to? So I get what Casey is saying. And if Jenny is not doing that, then yeah, you're always going to be thrown in. And then, Jenny comes back with this rebuttal like, well, it doesn't really matter if I talk to you or if I gain relationships with you or whatever, you're still going to throw me in because this house backstabs. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the case. This house does really backstab. Cory and Nehemiah still have this kind of like bro shit, this kind of like, I'm working with you kind of pact or whatever. And they're saying that they're having issues not only in their team, but with the other teams. Their dynamic is a little bit confusing to me. I'm not really fully understanding. Did I mention Nehemiah? But I want Nehemiah and Cory to stay like this. I'm old, so I'm going to do my list again. Cara, Theo, Cory, Kylan, Jordan, Nehemiah. Those are my top 6. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I feel like that's whatever they got going on, I want them to last. I definitely do, especially Cory. I want Cory to make it to a final. I mean, he's done that in the past, but I want him to like win. You know what I'm saying? And I love Kylan and I love Cory. Between the two, it's really tough for me to choose between the two of them. I like them both, but Cory's been doing this longer than Kylan, so I definitely want Cory to win on that front. But Kylan like responds and he speaks to me and he makes me feel special. And like, I've done an interview with him. I've tried to do an interview with Cory, but Cory is just too like fancy and can't make it happen. I don't know. I love them both. And I would love for both of them to genuinely win if that was remotely possible. So Ryan then moves out of the room where Laurel and Johnny are staying, and he makes it known that he's moving. Johnny's like, "You moving?" Ryan's like, "Yeah, I gotta get out of here." And then we get this post confession about Laurel talking about her and Ryan's relationship ended because Nicole was calling Ryan nonstop based off of an argument that they had on All Stars 4 or just their life in general or whatever the case may be. I think that's kind of misdirected or misunderstood because when Ryan talked about it, I didn't hear him say, "We're not friends because Nicole kept calling me." Even on the lives that Derrick and Ryan have been like doing for like since the show started, Ryan doesn't say that. He speaks on other underlying factors with regard to why Laurel and him are no longer friends. But I'll let Laurel believe whatever she wants to believe. The challenge is called Battle for Honor, and then out of nowhere, TJ's like, "Well, let's go, let's be gladiator, roar!" And I'm like, okay, this is a bit much. Can we not just get to the freaking competition? And listen here, I really wasn't caring about this challenge at all. I was just staring at one thing that kept coming on my screen. So, of course, I'm going to keep staring at it. And that was Cory in those biker shorts. I mean, every shot, it was just a nice back shot and Cory in the shorts with his thick legs and just like I was just here for all of that. And, of course, Theo got shown a little bit and I was here for Theo. Um, Anything else was kind of like a blur. They didn't really show Kylan. I don't know where Kylan was this whole time, but I was just staring at Cory the whole time. I just was. And then Theo was like a nice second. And then, because Cory had tried to like get Derrick out of the competition or whatever, Derrick had gotten upset with Cory because Derrick has been injured and he felt like Cory was lowballing him or whatever. Cory was like, "Bro, I was taking it easy on you. So, I mean, like, if you really want me to go there with you, I can go there with you." And it was like a lot of gripe and like bickering going back and forth because Cory had tried to like make a deal with Theo at the end. Theo wasn't hearing it. He didn't care about no deal because he had already made a deal with Derrick. So it was like a lot going on. And then Cory had gotten upset or whatever the case may be, I guess, and took some of his frustration out on Derrick. Derrick didn't like that. And Derrick ended up throwing the life vest at Cory. Now, any other old time that would have happened, it would have been like a big thing. Like I remember when Nelson mushed Derrick, or when Cory clipped Tony or whatever. Like the internet went ablaze about that and made it like this huge big ordeal. But Derrick throwing the life jacket at Cory, I guess, wasn't a big deal. Cory didn't think it was a big deal. And I'm going past a little bit because this is valid for right now. It was dope seeing Jordan actually have Cory's back for once with regards to Derrick doing that. Jordan was like, "Man, you should have just did it when y'all was face to face. Doing it behind his back was really like low ball." And he was like, "It is what it is. You got what you wanted. It is what it is." I respect Jordan for that. And I commend Cory for not going ape shit. Cory has grown a lot over the years watching from, his first challenge to now. And I just respect Cory. I respect Derrick too, but I feel like Derrick is a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Derrick is a little bit more full of himself, if that makes sense, than Cory is. And I know that kind of seems backwards because usually Derrick is more of a like bro, heroic, kind of humble guy. But I was really vibing with Cory and how he handled his situation. That's just me. Then we get to the women, and to be quite honest, I didn't care about them going after each other. I cared not. I thought it was cute that Laurel finally decided to be somewhat of a cool person to Cara to try to get Tori out. But that's all that it was for the women. So Era 4 wins. Janae and Theo are the people to select who's going to go in the elimination against Derrick and Rachel. We get to Deliberation, and Avery starts off sounding like Kamala Harris. And I'm like, "Okay, girl, you better try to sway this vote or whatever." And all the while she's talking, I can't help but look at Theo's open wound and gash on his arm. Mind you, Jordan had got bloodied and his face got wrecked and Josh's face got wrecked. So I was like, God damn, like they didn't have eye goggles on or anything. So that's that. But hearing them talk has been interesting. Now, Avery thought that because she stuck her neck out for Derrick before, that Derrick would kind of do that tonight or the night of. And of course, Derrick does not. Derrick states that if he was the winner, then this would be a no-brainer. But he's not the winner, so he's not going to stand in front of the fire like Avery did for him. And I call bullshit on that because Avery literally went against her teammate and essentially her whole team and threw herself in elimination for Derrick. And Derrick did not return the favor. This is how you know when either you ride or die for someone or you don't ride or die for someone. And I feel like at the end of the day, Avy wasted her moral ground on Derrick, who did not decide to stand on the sword for Avery. Derrick is a bitch, and I no longer have respect for him. Now, I don't know if Avery and Derrick have made up in behind the scenes or they're cool or whatever behind the scenes, but it was a bitch move. And I feel sorry for Avery because she stuck her neck out for Derrick, and Derrick did not return the favor. Derrick's a bitch. Cory ends up talking to Theo and, Jenny. And to be quite honest, I feel like it was a little like too late, right? Because I feel like Cory did already go after Theo in the challenge. So I feel like Theo was going to really vie for Cory anyway. But before we get to the elimination or the deliberation, Kyland and Michelle wants to continue to work with Era 3. And haphazardly, so does Casey and Josh. But Casey and Josh don't necessarily stick their necks out for Cory, their apparent buddy or friend, when Theo and Jenny comes back saying that that's who they want to throw in. And it's very interesting because Josh has proven that his allegiance is with no one but Johnny Bananas this whole season. Cory has already had a run-in with Josh regarding their friendship, and it's coming to a head again now. And Josh does not stick up for Cory whatsoever. And, we do get into a heated argument. And to be quite honest, I've always been Team Cory. I've never been Team anybody's Josh. Josh still has me blocked, and that's okay because I always ran down on him during my reviews, and he continuously gives me reasons to run down on him. I feel like you can't say that you have a friendship with someone or y'all are friends outside of this or whatever, and constantly you never have their back unless you feel like you're obligated to have their back. When it came to Johnny, you felt obligated to have Johnny's back over Cory. There's no other affiliation with you and anyone else in this challenge, Josh, outside of Cory. You still don't want to have Cory's back. So watching Cory yell at Josh was entertaining because I was rocking with everything that Cory was saying. And for Josh to go up to Cory and be like, how are you doing? Are you okay? And Cory spazzes out. I'm here for all of it. I am the same person. I don't like fake bullshit. People trying to act like they don't know what's going on or trying to act like they didn't have a say or just trying to placate for the cameras, specifically regarding with reality TV. I loved every moment of Cory calling out Josh. And it felt like usually when Cory talks like, oh, I'm coming back and I'm coming to get y'all and da-da-da-da, he always ends up losing and getting kicked out typically. So I thought that was going to happen. Then I saw a tweet where he was like, all right, guys, I'm going to come back on such and such and talk about what happened or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, oh, damn, Cory's gone. Right. And so I'm like, fuck, why is he talking like this? Every time he talks like this, he gets the boot. When we get to the deliberation and Derrick calls out Cory and is like, I want to go up against you. I think that Rachel has a better shot against Avery. And so it is what it is. Cory's like, oh, so just say you want to go against me. If you want to go against me, I'm not going to hold back. Blah, 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 blah. At the same time, Derrick is a G in eliminations and Cory, I feel like always overshoots. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking big. And I'm like, usually when Cory talks big, he ends up going home. But at the same time, I'm appreciative and I respect Cory for holding his ground, standing his ground and holding his own and not backing down. I'm loving it either way, right? So then we get into elimination. Now, see, it's like a ring or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm wanting Cory to be physical with Derrick so he can win and it be done. When TJ explains what's happening and the fact that they got to be blindfolded and shit, I'm like, all right, this is about to be a dub. Like, even though Derrick has one leg, Derrick is a scrapper and Derrick is going to win. In my mind, I'm thinking this. And then Rachel and Avery, it's a no-brainer. I don't know what was going on with Rachel, but with Avery, but Avery was standing still for Rachel to hit her the whole way through, and Avery did not bob and weave till the end. It was ridiculous, okay? Then when we get to Avery having to hit Rachel's all over the place, dodging all over up and down and back and forth all over the place, right? I love the fact that the women went first because this allowed Cory to figure out a way to maneuver and save himself in this game, right? We get to Derrick versus Cory, where Derrick has to run away with the thing. Cory was wailing on this man, and I loved every bit of it. And in my mind, I'm like, just get him in the corner, go like this all over his body. Blah, 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 blah. Go like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to hit. Just go like this, grab him, and go like this all over his body and be done. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why that really wasn't the move. It ended up being the move a little bit, but it didn't seem like Cory had got all of Derrick's targets. Then we get to, Derrick going after Cory with the targets. And Derrick is just like, I'm sorry, I had to fast forward this. I really wasn't caring about Derrick. I really wasn't. I wanted Cory to win. But I saw, like, before I started fast forwarding, I saw that he was like really getting them. And I was upset because I'm like, damn, Cory, you can't maneuver faster than this. He only has one leg. And so I fast forwarded. I already, in my mind, Cory's going home. I'm pissed. Like, whatever. They gave it to Derrick, whatever. Come to find out, though, and I made the biggest scream and yell. I sometimes feel like I should record myself when I'm watching this live. Avery's going home. We already know that. But both Cory and Derrick got all of the targets. So I'm like, not only am I like cheering that Derrick and Cory were like a match, because Derrick think that you know what I'm saying? And Cory was already forewarning them. And I just like that Cory was able to forewarn them and make them eat his words, right? But I'm like, all right, whatever. We already know they love Derrick. Derrick is about to win. Cory gets the W, and I'm so freaking excited. First of all, Cory looks amazing. He looks ripped. He looks like he's been working out. He looks like he's ready to go. The Fabio curly Q hair, everything is looking great. And he's like a red Smurf. Man, listen, Cory all day long. Sheesh. And when they were singing each other, they're like, oh man, you're great. I love you. I love you. You're great. All this shit. I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit. Is Derrick going home? Like, that's all I want to know. Is Derrick going home? You know what I'm saying? Cory's like thanking him and shit. I'm like, all right, Cory's gone, whatever. Cory's in the game and Rachel is in the game. Like, I'm here for it. But Rachel is still on Era One's team by herself. I just knew that Tina was going to be like, all right, Rachel, pick a team to be on. Like, I just thought that was going to be the case, but it's not. Rachel is still very much a target. Ryan finally nominates himself to be a target. Let's go to the targets. Let's see what's going on here. All right, I will start from the beginning. Cory chooses, Casey and Kylan nominate themselves. Devin and Tori nominate themselves. Laurel gets chosen, and I love that. Ryan finally volunteers. I'm like, that's interesting. And Rachel is still a target on a team by herself. Look here. This was a good episode. I love the episode. I thought it was great. I have a lot of energy, which is why I ended up doing this review right after watching her. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about it. Shout out to Cory. Shout out to Kylan, baby daddy, who came back because he heard his name being spoken about by Josh. And let's be clear. I think a lot of people don't really care for Josh, but I think Kylan definitely doesn't care for Josh. I think Kylan looks at Josh like he's an imbecile, and we all do. Let's be clear. We all do. Josh has done better this particular season, but when it comes to his relationships and how he upholds them, he's a punk still. All right? He may look a little cuter, but he's a punk still. Kylan came in and was like, why are you calling my name? What are you talking about? And, he gets clarity on that. But then, Kylan's a professional, like, Josh, we already know you do have some sway, and if you wanted Cory to stay in the game, you could have possibly made that happen. Let's be clear. I love Baby Daddy. Like, to be honest, can we be honest? If Cory and Kylan came together as a unit, as a front, first of all, they both kind of like, they could be cousins. They both fine as hell. Cory got the little edge over Kylan, let's be clear. But they're both fine as hell. But if both of them were staring in front right now, I'd be like, that's the ragtag team. I want, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a killer team. That would be a killer team. Cory and Kylan, I wish they would like be cool and like come together and kumbaya. I wish I had more conversations between Cory and Kylan than between Cory and Nehemiah. No shade. Because Nehemiah hasn't really moved the needle this whole competition or challenge. But if Cory and Kylan were able to come, I think that would be a force to not be reckoned with. Okay. Anyway, leave your comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the challenge. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Deuces.